Nnamdi Kanu's arrest. Federal government source confirms woman nailed IPOB leader. Fight harder. No one will give you power on a platter of gold. Akeredolu tells youth. NEDC. Demonic forces playing politics with Northern Lives. CSO on fraud claim against Alkali. NSAS or your panel concludes public hearing on 163 petitions. Yoruba Nation. Nigeria Intelligence Services locate Sunday. Igboho. Why Nnamdi Kanu's trial should be opposed, not allowed to hold. Lawyer Ejimako. NLC threatens showdown in Ondo government over alleged plans. NLC threatens showdown with Ondo government over alleged plans on selective salary. Senate threatens Code of Conduct boss Umar with arrest warrant over public assault. Middle Belt Forum decries destruction of farmlands by suspected Fulani herdsmen in Plateau. COVID-19 third wave. Sanwo-Olu gives fresh directives to immigration. Ekets elders fault Governor Emmanuel's contract claims. Also, EFCC arraigns petrol station MD, First Bank staff for 900 million naira POS fraud. 2023 presidency, tread parts of diplomacy. Stop sticking to political entitlement. AYF tells Indigbo. Just before I move on to another paper, Buhari government hails Ohanes Indigbo's position on Nnamdi Kanu IPOB. Also, from the Punch newspaper this morning, Buhari seeks National Assembly's help to end insecurity. The composing body of NDU undergraduate killed by soldier boyfriend uncovered. CCT chair tackles Senate in court. National Assembly threatens judge's arrest. And EFCC breaks into Lagos hotel, arrests 30 over fraud. Kaduna bandits slaughtered 222, kidnapped 774 in 3 months. Commissioner Kanu's family seeks clarification on IPOB leader's extradition. Don't allow Chidinma to die in custody, reps tell IGP. Police CJTF transfer rescued Bethel students, 2 others to hospital. Also, no to Buhari's overbearing press censorship. Nigeria working on central database on criminals, IG. Young leader, scholars, others gather online to celebrate Shoyinka at 87. More stories from the Punch newspaper. Okorocha berates Odima as Imo shot ex-governor's college. Asalans kill each 5 cassava harvesters in Ebonyi communal clash. Still from the Punch newspaper, improved capacity, key to effective service delivery, government. We are clearing criminal hideouts around Long Bridge, says DPO. Kaduna bandits slaughtered 222, kidnapped 774 in 3 months. Commissioner, I took that earlier. Of course, NG congratulates Oshoba Obaigbena on birthdays. Daily Trust newspaper has these headlines. Reps mull 2% consolidated revenue fund for healthcare. Don't arm firefighters, reps warn federal government. PIB, Trade Ministry flays takeover of Weights and Measures Department functions. Federal government ends first phase of COVID-19 vaccination. Jailing corrupt officials won't stop corruption, Ali. Woman, 4 kids killed in Zamfara airstrikes. Suzuam kicks against state police. Nigeria loses $26.3 billion to oil theft. Other crimes annually. Buhari. Traders gunned down in clash with Air Force personnel in Lagos. 100 killed during COVID-19 lockdown. Aregbesola. Herbalist nabbed with human skull in Osun. Rehabilitation begins at Geshua Cemetery after a Daily Trust story. And 1 killed as trailers, revenue collectors clash in Anambra. Vehicles with factory-fitted tinted glass exempted from ban. IGP. I move on to another story now. This is Premium Times newspaper, and I take some headlines. Panic in Unilag as students contract COVID-19. Jubawa, West Africa has fact-checking body draws high praises at Sierra Leone launch. 5 years after Nigerian governor's pledge, bedridden medical student appeals for help. Civic religious groups using social media to canvass voters' registration. And also, Buhari hosts leadership members of NAS to dinner. More headlines from Premium Times. Insecurity. Reps recommend special training of 40,000 police personnel to stem insecurity in Nigeria. Next is the Nation newspaper. 222 killed, 774 kidnapped in 3 months, says Kaduna government. Nigeria lucky to remain despite challenges, says Buhari. Insecurity holding down development, says Buhari. And House asks Buhari to fight insurgency with mercenaries. Senate bill proposes 10 years jail for hate speech. INEC job, Onoche's rejection good for democracy. And encomiums for literary giants, Soyinka at 87. Senator peg varsity admission age at 16 in JAMB Amendment Act. INEC records 542,576 new registration applications. Alleged assault. CCT chairman Umaru seeks to stop Senate's probe. Council chief donates patrol vehicles to Kano Police. And SARS Kaduna Pro Panel to set to submit report July 31. And more headlines from the Nation newspaper today. We have these few headlines. AFCFTA, Nigeria's long walk to global competitiveness. And finally, to Vanguard newspaper before we take our first break on the program this morning. 1 killed, 3 others feared dead in Air Force traders clash. RRS nabs 2 robbery suspects at Oshodi. Jigawa Assembly passes 20.44 billion naira supplementary bill. Divorce-seeking husband calls wife a debtor. And Buhari commissions Falcon Eye maritime intelligence facility, says Nigerian Navy now capable to combat any maritime crime. Sanwo-Olu nabs gang of traffic robbers in acts at Ojota. Kwara APC crisis. Youth support call for Abdulrazak suspension. Between Buhari's unfulfilled promises and the media managers. That's right up on the Vanguard. And of course, Lagos demolishes 4 severely distressed buildings at Ebute Meta. Hardship resulting from insecurity in Kaduna worrisome. El Rufai. And finally, before we take a break, no one will be left behind in the new economy, says BWS Director of Corporate Advisors, Ronald Sims. We have the time coming up to 11 minutes past 6. Stay with us as we take a break. We'll be back shortly.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́ ó ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
When you haven't used your SIM for quite a while, you start to worry. You start to calculate the last time you recharged, or the last time you got a call on that line, or a credit alert, or even just a flash. But thanks to Glow Always On, you can rest easy and never worry about any of that. Because with just 500 naira, you stay connected to the Glow network even if your SIM is inactive. Just dial *777# and select Always On to subscribe.
Glow Unlimited.
ẹ jẹ́ n sọ fún yín pa Zainabu bọ́ba ti jí láàárọ̀ yóò kọ́ jẹun tó dáa yóò wá gbé pabambarì lé lórí Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12 ara ti mókùnù ọpọlọ ti jí pépé iṣẹ́ yá.
lẹ́ òjò.
káàárọ̀ Zainab ìdí nù ti fi máa pegedé lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ rẹ̀.
jọ̀ọ́ bá náwó mú wéhùn.
àti pàápàá ń bi eré
Didion syrup of hemoglobin ní èròjà vitamin B12 nínú tí yóò mú kọ́pọlọ àtara rẹ̀ ó jí pépé ní ìgbáradì fún àṣeyọrí tí ọ̀lẹ́gbẹ́ ń gbà gbogbo. Mu ṣíbí méjì Didion péré lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú ṣíbí lásán tàbí kó pòpọ̀ pẹ̀lú ohun mímu ẹlẹ́rìndòdò tó bá fẹ́ràn. Ọ̀yá gbéra ńlẹ̀ bí akọni pẹ̀lú Didion.
To be healthy, strong and active, I say. Take Didion.
Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. Agbára tí ń roni lágbára. Ẹ kàwé pélébé inú rẹ̀.
32 FM
94.9.
You're welcome. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us. On Facebook, don't forget you can join us, 32FM 949 Ibadan. 32FM 949 Ibadan. Like our Facebook page and join us on YouTube too, 32FM 949 Ibadan. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Taufik Akim Banuso, we got a message. And of course, Hamid Babatunde, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. Olashiu Imran, good morning. Now, I'm being joined in the studio by our analyst today, Austin Ojomo. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Billy.
How are you today?
I'm fine today.
You're sounding low. Are you okay? Is everything fine?
Perfectly okay.
All right. Yeah, let's kickstart the analysis now. I saw this headline just now. Yoruba Nation, Nigeria Intelligence Services locate Sunday Igboho. The intelligence community in Nigeria have located the hideout of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho. There are some parts of the stories that I would like to just pinpoint. Many people are yet to fully understand the meaning of federal government. Few days after Igboho's place was preached, intelligence services detected his exasport. Somebody, an informant, was actually responding to a newsman, particularly a reporter from Daily Post newspaper, but he claimed that the federal government doesn't want to heat up the tension in the southwest, while some people are still clamoring that Igboho should be left alone.
Yes, according to the informant who spoke to the press, that was the reason given, that based on the tension, especially in the southwest, as regards the case of Sunday Igboho, for now, they wouldn't want to arrest him. They are trying to take things calm with him. Of course, by that particular report, it shows that if we really want intelligence to work in the country, it will definitely work. If at the end of that scenario, the invasion of his premises, and as at now, his location has actually been determined through concerted effort of security operative, as far as the informant had just said, then you now begin to wonder, why then are we wallowing in so much form of insecurity all across the country? What does it take? Will it take eternity, for example, to be able to get the exact location?
That means we have the manpower, we have the brain, we have the technical.
Yes, quote and unquote, we have the intel to be able to track this individual. So why is it that tracking is is easier done in certain part of the country than
difficult
and very difficult, painted to be extremely difficult in other side of the country. I think it's quite unfortunate, the situation we find ourselves. Just over the weekend, the Emir of Kajuru was adopted. Of course, he has regained freedom now. His wife and some members of his family are still in captivity. This is the situation where we find ourselves. How come we have not been able to use the same intelligence to quash Boko Haram, for example, and to dismiss and to dismantle all that form of...
But the federal government won't claim not to know where these
country.
bandits are because Gumi interacts with them.
Yes, I think it's the political will and the idea of the fact that, some crime are less in nature than the other. Because what we are meant to understand in the latest narration from the northern part of the country is that banditry, kidnapping, and what have you is like an independent crime, a crime that is being operated with a faceless group or faceless individual. That is why it has been so difficult to be able to track them, not knowing that as Nigerians too, we also know some of the leaders of this particular group who are terrorizing the northern part of the country.
So
for me, that Igbo location has been discovered. It's not a major issue as far as I'm concerned. Let the federal government also deploy technology, map out to discover the location of all of those who have decided to make life ungovernable for us and life not too meaningful for us as a people.
From Punch newspaper this morning, Buhari seeks National Assembly's help to end insecurity. The President, General Muhammadu Buhari, has urged the National Assembly to partner his regime in order to bring insecurity to an end. Buhari made the plea at a dinner held in honor of members of senators and all that. Now, it seems that this dinners and some other functions, that's when we hear this sort of things. If really, indeed, that's my opinion anyway, the government wants to act, it's not going to be at any such venues.
Yes, of course, that venue was also an occasion for the executive arm of government to solicit for cooperation of the legislative.
So what if that event never happened?
Of course, it was designed to happen because the executive arm of government called for it. If you also look at that event, the president also used the occasion to thank members of the National Assembly for their cooperation for the period under review. According to him, they've made his administration seamless in getting some of their programs actually done. Then it takes us back to where we started from. Do the president solicited the support of the National Assembly to track people like the people that have so far be tracked? You understand? We just got a report this morning that, the location of Sunday, exact location of Sunday Igboho probably will have been known to security operative, which shows that if they want to arrest him today, he could be arrested. The president did not solicit for the support of the National Assembly to get all of this done. Of course, I agree the National Assembly had to partner somehow in terms of legislative intervention to ensure that crimes and criminality is nipped in the bud. So for me, that occasion of the president meeting with the members of the National Assembly is a welcome development that has to happen. It really happens these days. I think under former President Olusegun Obasanjo, it does happen. It looks like a regular thing where senators will have to meet with the executive arm of government. They interact and also look for a possible way of moving forward as a country. So the rapport is not entirely bad. But the truth of the matter is that what is in need for the common man, what is in need for an average Nigeria, when high-power delegation, when those that have elected to represent the interests of the people are to meet with the executive arm of government. Don't forget, this is an arm of government that is supposed to act as a checks and balance to the executive arm of government and other arm of government for that matter. So let's see how this goes at the end of the day. But soliciting their support, I don't think is anything new, because if not that the National Assembly has been cooperative with Mr. President, close to ₦1 trillion was approved, I think, last week for a supplementary budget, especially to fund the armed forces in terms of weapon, hardware, and what have you. So I agree completely that the National Assembly have always been supportive, especially the 9th National Assembly of this particular administration. You know, the story was that the 8th National Assembly never cooperated, the leadership of the 8th National Assembly. So when the leader of the National Assembly, that the executive desire emerged at this time, we expected that Nigerians should get more in terms of benefit, in terms of economic advantage. But as that actually happened, the answer is in the air.
All right. While some people are clamoring for state policing, we have governors coming together to say that we need a level of reformation and some level of now. Gabriel Suzwam of Benue State is saying that we don't have the maturity to control state police, and he said that it's going to be a recipe for complete disintegration of the country. Do you agree with that position?
Of course, not entirely. I do not agree with such a position. Under the First Republic, it was abused to a large extent. That does not mean that the dynamics has also changed. That does not mean that we cannot test run the process again. We are even looking at the possibility of bringing community policing on board. And we say if we can't do that, the next to it should be like a state police, where state government will be in charge of their policing system. It is archaic and no longer fashionable if you look at the unitary policing system that we operate in Nigeria, where it is even the state that funds the operational and logistics of the police. And when it comes to response, when it comes to taking orders, we rely so much on the fact that, order must definitely come from above. Of course, that has been, if you look at the era of Rotimi Amechi, for example, Joseph Umbu, the commissioner of police in Rivers State, look at what he did to Rotimi Amechi at that particular point in time. It's a popular story. Of course, in recent time, you no longer have that. It depends on also the one that is at the center, the level of political forbearance and interference, for example. So for me, I think it is a way to go. So that state police will be counterproductive. The fear is that politicians will use it to their own advantage and at the detriment of the people. Let us test run it. Such a politician would not hold office forever. When you also leave office, you cross to the other side. What you have done to people.
But even the federal government is using the national police.
Even the national police, state governors still manipulate and still use the national police.
So we cannot shy away from that.
Of course, it's a life from the pit of hell to conclude or to say that governors do not have power over the police. It's not true, except there is a breakdown of relationship. Once there is cordial relationship between the number one police in the state and the governor, things will run smoothly. Because apart from salary, for example, governors in Nigeria today fund police more than even the federal government. That's the truth of the matter. So the idea that, because governors will abuse the process, governor will abuse power and what have you, that is not enough reason. In my view, I feel that the merit, the advantages outweigh the demerit, which is the disadvantage. So it's the way to go. We can't continue to have a policing system wherein somebody from somewhere will just come to your state, for example, and the governor will not know anything about it. If orders are given, somebody will wait for order from Abuja. You look at the body language. The IG will not even give order except to study and understand the body language of Mr. President. For how long are we going to go? We are talking about quick emergency response to security situation in the country. Don't forget, recently, Gabriel Susan was also aware that recently the president at the forum had to push it back to some of the governors and say, go and secure your state. So which means that they are critical stakeholder in securing lives and property in their various domains. You don't just have to wait and say, Abuja will continue.
Now, are we going to wait for an amendment of the constitution to have either state policing or community policing?
Of course, we need amendment of the constitution because currently the constitution says that there shall be a Nigerian police force. You understand? And if there is not going to be a Nigerian police force, which means that by way of legislation, the National Assembly will come in to now officially decentralize the policing structure, wherein state government across the country will have absolute control of the type of police that they want. You understand? You can design the type of security structure that you want. Governors will continue to hide under the fact that they don't have absolute power over security matters, and they continue to shy away. When they collect security vote, they won't tell you they don't have absolute power. But once it's come to securing the lives and property of the people, they begin to give excuse that it rests within the purview of the federal government. Some state government are better handling it. You understand? It depends on the type of policing structure that you want for your state. So for me, I dismiss that report and I do not completely agree with it that it will breed anarchy and it can lead to disintegration because of abuse of such a process. Let us kickstart the process. Let us even test run it and see the way it looks like.
All right. In 1960, when Nigeria got its independence, before then we had a prime minister and all other politicians, and we were on this republic till 1966 when some young boys, soldiers, they came and truncated that rule at that time, and those people were below 30 years, 28, 27, 25 and all that. Now Akrede is telling youth now, fight harder, no one will give you power on a platter of gold. But youths, as the cases now, they have returned back to base because of the experience with the NSAS during the NSAS movement.
Yes, they have returned back to base. That does not mean that they will remain at the base forever. You know, if you look at what happened in October 2020, the NSAS saga, before them, we never imagined that the Nigerian youth could be so resolute, coming together with one voice and pushing for an agenda that almost rocked the country. Of course, it was a decisive communication, and the government got it clear. If you look at between then and now, the government has not rested. they want to push the youth perpetually to a place they think they belong. You know, they are bringing in policies, programs to ensure that they cut to size the power of this youth, because they know that, just like the Holy Book, that whatever you agree as touching anything, you'll be able to push forward. Then coming back to the issue of Akeredolu, of course, power is not served a la carte. You can't continue to say that, oh, the youth must take over. But what are the parameters, what are the indices that is on ground that suggest that youth should take over? Akeredolu, for example, at the end of his tenure, he may probably want to go to the Senate. Is it how we want the youth to take over? Look at presidential election in Nigeria, from 5 billion expenses to 15 billion. Is this how you want the youth to take over? When Sowore visited Balarabe Musa in Kaduna State pre-2019 presidential election, Balarabe Musa greeted him, he saluted his courage, but he told him, he said, you cannot become the president of Nigeria except you are a treasury looter or you are a friend to treasury looter, because it's quite expensive to prosecute campaign for presidential election. Look at governorship, look at House of Assembly, for example, from expenses of about 500,000 or 5 million to 50 million, which means that if you want to vie for the position of honorable member at the State House of Assembly, you have to have 50 million. That does not mean that is the end, though. That is what you have to have. You are most likely going to spend onto 100 million naira, for example. There is a bill, there is a law that says not too young to run. I think we should also bring a law that will talk about not too poor to run, because the National Assembly, by this amendment to electoral reform, have been able to monetize heavily the electoral process, shutting out the youth. Is it the youth who have not gotten job that will vie for political position? Is it the youth after graduation they are still in their parents' house at the age of 35, 36, close to 40? They are not even talking about marriage. They are talking about means of livelihood. No job for them to do. They are able-bodied. There's no job for them to do. Is that how to vie for position?
Is that why somebody will travel to America, do wire, come back with loads of cash and contest to become governor?
That is the way it works, because we have heavily monetized the whole process until we get to a level. Like the late Aminu Kano once said, that until the children of nobody start becoming somebody in Nigeria, there will be no peace. I think we are gradually in that era now. So we must get to a level where people will emerge on merit, where people will emerge based on their popularity, acceptance, and credibility, not because of the amount of money that you weigh. That is why our value system has been eroded. Our value system has gradually collapsed, because nobody cares about you. Nobody talks about how you make the money. Just go out there, get the money, rub it on people's face, and at the end of the day, ride it upon them. So the Akeredolu comment is welcome, is good. Of course, the elderly ones, those that are old brigade in our politics, they won't leave the stage. The youth have to push. The youth have to push for it. But how has the youth fared? For example, under this particular administration, we have the highest number of youth unemployment in the whole world. That is what is suggesting now. So if we look at that critically, where does the youth stand in Nigeria? What has this government done for the youth? The National Assembly member, 109 senator, 460 House of Rep member, about 360 House of Rep member, about 469 people gathered at the banquet hall of the presidential villa yesterday. How many of such individuals can you point to that fall within the category of youth? So some of these statements are easier said than done. Have you created an enabling environment for the youth? What have they been adequately taken care of? Have you accommodated them? Akeredolu is paying staggered salary in Ondo State, for example. I think certain percentage, not even up to 50%.
Sometimes 30%.
30%. So what is the meaning of that? Some of these parents who belong to the category of workforce in Ondo State, they have youth who has their children who they are taking care of. So these are the issue. It is not just enough.
In Nigeria, we run after billions. Everybody wants to become a billionaire because that's when your success, you are rated as successful. But in other climes, it's not so. Once you have a good life, then you are good to go.
Yeah, that is the way it looks. I think it's about our value system. It's about the value that we place on ourselves, for example, as a people. Of course, it's good that youth should take over. Particularly, I'm an advocate of youth participation in politics. But to what extent? What the National Assembly has done by expenses limit or spending limit for political offices in Nigeria is a major setback to the conversation that youth should join politics. To what extent? how much have you been able to make? It means that you have to be a criminal before you can contest for an election in Nigeria. It shouldn't be so.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about Loretta Onoche. The Senate refused to clear her, but I got a report on one of the papers today that Mr. President is representing Onoche. Let's see how it goes. We'll talk about it when we come back. Stay with us.
You know as body dey totori you anytime you dey download and watch plenty videos like say tomorrow not day. Na so one corner of your brain go dey tell you say as e dey sweet you so make you remember say na your pocket go hear am o. My brother, my sister, the truth be say that one na before o. Now when you buy data wey dey last with shikini money on top MTN, you go jollificate 10GB data for 3,000 naira and 20GB data for 5,000 naira. Plus say they go come sama you 4GB awoof data for take watch YouTube videos for the data network with the reliable. Shikina, just dial *131# for take turn up your ogbonge data for shikini money on top MTN. Terms and conditions dey.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Different days, different roads. All na to hammer. Keep going and spice up your hustle.
Introducing the new Gala Spicy. It's big, meaty, tasty, with that special Niger spicy flavor. Try it today. Available for 100 naira only. Gala Spicy. Spice up your hustle.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni. Ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò. Kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC Fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street, Aláàfin Avenue, Olúyọ̀lé Estate, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
32 FM
94.9.
Thank you for staying with us. 32FM 949 Ibadan. That's our YouTube page. 32FM 949 Ibadan. That's also our Facebook page. You can like our Facebook page, and in fact, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We already have messages on Facebook. Prince Sikiru Giwa, he said, "Good morning. I don't agree with Mr. Austin that governors have power on the police. If it's true, why didn't the police obey the court order when former Governor Ladoja was reinstated?" We're going to respond to that much later. Kazim Master Adiolu said, "Federal government knows what they're doing. I see it as an intimidation." Anyway, don't forget, we're going to open the phone lines when it's time. You have the opportunity of calling in to give your response or reaction to any of the stories. But you want to respond to this now?
Yes, I want to respond to Sikiru Giwa. We said it in the commentary. The state governor seems to lose power over the police when there is overbearing presidential influence. You know what happened during Ladoja's case. I also painted the situation to you under Goodluck Jonathan between Joseph Umbu, the then commissioner of police in Rivers State, and Governor Rotimi Amechi, where the governor had to come down to identify himself. He lost control because Abuja is interested at that particular point in time. So listen to the commentary and get proper perspective of what we talked about.
Despite the Senate's rejection of the nomination of Loretta Onoche as commissioner of the INEC, the president on Tuesday reaffirmed its confidence in her. The president told the Punch, "The fact that Mr. President, who made the nomination, had not chosen to withdraw it shows that he still has faith in the process. Onoche's candidature is viable. So far, it hasn't withdrawn its confidence in Onoche." This happened during the former EFCC chair's saga at that time. Mr. President kept representing him at that time, but eventually it was not confirmed as the chairman of the FCC. Now, Mr. President is ready to represent Onoche.
Yes, I think it was there's a little bit different between the case of Magun and this Onoche. At that time, Nigerians didn't go against Ibrahim Magu. it was the Senate that only acted on security reports against Magu, and the presidency felt that it looks as if corruption want to fight back from the Senate by ensuring that Magu was not confirmed.
But this time around,
Nigeria kicked against the nomination of Loretta Onoche for a clear partisanship. You understand?
As a card-carrying member.
As a card-carrying member of the All Progressive Congress and a current aide to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Senate, on one hand, has done something that looks good by rejecting our appointment, by rejecting our nomination. But the Senate balkanized the whole process by giving the wrong reason. Okay. You know, the Senate will have just come out to say that, based on overwhelming petition against our candidature, we are withdrawing our appointment. But the Senate withdrew that appointment, rejected that appointment, and at the same time had to give a wrong reason based on federal character. Dele was federal character in the picture all along. Federal character was never in the picture. We were only relying on the section of the law that says that no card-carrying member of a political party should be nominated, and the former INEC chairman has to come out and say no, there's no need of controversy in INEC, because it will get to a level where some people who will never win election will come out and say we will have won if not for so appointment that was made. If it happened in the past, must it continue to happen? That is what we are asking. Then based on the Senate reason, I think it betrays logic if you say that Loretta Onoche is from Delta State and Delta already have a nominee. That is not true. The woman May Agbamuche Umbu, that is Delta State origin, is a national commissioner at INEC, but she's representing Cross River State, which is the state of her husband. You understand? You can represent the state of your husband in federal appointment. You understand? So with that, didn't the president see this before pushing Onoche forth? By record, we have it that Delta State since 1999 has not produced any national commissioner for INEC. In the South, only Delta and Bayelsa State, because INEC is supposed to have 12 national commissioners, 2 each from the geopolitical zone that we have in the country. So this morning I'm saying that the Senate reason for not for rejecting Onoche is not tenable. It's just a political reason. They are just playing to the gallery. What the Senate has done now has opened a window for the president to represent Loretta Onoche.
Are they going to give another reason?
That is what we don't know. Which means that the reason, that the parochial reason that they have just given now, if the tenure of Agbamuche, for example, that they lay claim to expire, it means that the president can represent Loretta Onoche.
Are they both playing politics?
They were playing politics. We were not talking about where Loretta Onoche comes from. We were only concerned about how partisan and the grave implication that can have on the credibility and perception of INEC.
Now, does that mean that Mr. President wants Onoche and the Senate must rack its brain to know how to bring Onoche in?
For now, Onoche stand rejected. The Senate should not allow itself to be used as far as this case is concerned. As far as I'm concerned, they did not respond to the yearnings of Nigerians, because they disappointed Nigerians by saying that no, it is not because of your outcry, it's because of Federal Character Commission or Federal Character Principle. Nobody ever talked about Federal Character Principle, because the issue of Agbamuche, this is not the first time a woman will have to represent the state of her husband, because you can do that. So Senate just played to the gallery with this Onoche's confirmation. But by and large, one good thing is that she has been rejected.
And she will be represented.
Whether represented or not, it is Senate that has opened that window for her to be, for the presidency or the executive arm of government to contemplate representing her, if the story is anything to go back.
But there are other positions that Onoche could fit in.
Of course, that is what we are saying. It shouldn't even be INEC. You know, the former INEC scribe had to come out and say, no, don't put a controversial person at INEC. At the end of the day, it will rubbish the whole process. Why putting somebody who is a card-carrying member, not just a card-carrying member, a vocal member of the APC for that matter? Of course, there are excuses here and there that, there were times too, PDP nominated their members to INEC and what have you. That is why the people voted for change and they expected change. If something bad has happened in the past, must the government continue to replicate that? Are there no other good things that the government can look for and replicate for Nigerians to benefit? So these are the issues. We must preserve the sanctity, the integrity, and the credibility of the electoral umpire.
All right, Austin, before we open the phone lines, let's talk about JAMB and the age of 16. What does that mean?
Well, JAMB has come out, the National Assembly has come out to say that JAMB cannot fix age, for example. It is school that fix their age. And I think the limit is 16 years of age. Now, the National Assembly is contemplating a situation where it will jack that up to 18 years.
Again?
Yes, they want to move the age to 18 years. That is what the National Assembly is proposing.
What about these pupils, very bright students?
That is what we are talking about.
At age 14.
I think about 2 years ago, the best JAMB candidate was 15 years of age. So where do you put such people? In every generation, there are geniuses. Yeah. There are people who are extra smart, who are extra brilliant. What will now be their lot?
Now, once you set the exam and they pass, then...
And they pass, they should go. You understand? Once you set the exam, they pass, they should go. It happened to one of my own child. I just said, go and play with the exam. And at the end of the day, she cleared it. I said, no, your age is not time for you to go. And some people told me, why will you be the one to set her back? You said she should try, and now it's her luck. You understand? Of course, I value age. Age is very strategic. Because if you see some people in certain employment today, like the popular saying that feeder is this many in their mouth. Age is strategic. However, that cannot be exception for all. You understand? So let us look for a way. Okay, if you are now saying that it must be 18 years, what are children that would do well and leave secondary school by age 15, age 16, age 17? So they have to wait, and at the end of the day constitute a very big backlog before 18 years. Don't forget, there is no tendency that at 18 years they will write JAMB and pass at a go, except for those that are extra brilliant. It means that from 18 years you start writing JAMB, and probably before you gain admission in some cases it can be 21 or 22. I don't think the Senate should come with that idea. Let's leave the institution. University of Lagos, for example, I think University of Ibadan, once you are not 16, they can't admit you. So if you work very hard and you are able to clear all your papers at O level, you clear your JAMB once and for all, and you meet the institution criteria, so be it admission for you.
All right, the phone lines are open now, 0705 5949, 0809 7949. There's a report here. I take the headlines and I take our last break on the show. It's about the electric car charging port that was opened. Do you want to talk about it, Austin?
Yes, it was inaugurated in Lagos, I think about 2 months ago. That car drove into a filling station, and the attendant was saying that, oh yeah, you have to go back and turn the other side so that I will be able to dispense fuel into it. It's a good one if we have brought this to the country.
Nigerian government commissions electric vehicle charging station.
Yes, charging station. Apart from commissioning charging station, we must also ensure stability in power supply in the country.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Yes, I love your brilliant comment this morning. But first, let me remind you that even the former chairman of INT'L, Professor Tahir Jega, has even said that the nomination of Lawrence Onofi was needless controversy. That it means that the federal government ought not to even nominate that woman at all. And so the Senate rejection of Lawrence Onofi has nothing to do with his federal character. I monitor everything. It has to do with the unlikelihood of being biased as a party carrying member. Senate is being logical and not in tune with the public reality. On Sunday, whether the NIA locate is whereabouts or not, I have said this several times that if any army general did this in open confrontation without dialogue, it will drag him down. It is important that the federal government start looking at issues of agitation from a solution perspective, because there are no good general who took the front of war without seeking way to bring lasting solutions. I am John Njoku. Thank you.
All right, thank you, John Njoku. Quickly, we'll take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́rìndínlógún. Ọ̀rẹ́, èmi ló dé tó ń fọ́kóló rẹ. ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́tàdínlógún.
ọmọ dá mi lóhùn.
lẹ́yìn nǹkan tó ṣe fún mi lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá yẹn èmi náà máa ra DSTV tèmi.
ṣé torí náà ló ṣe wá ń ṣàpamọ́ owó rẹ jọ. tó o bá ti gbọ́ yálà ẹgbẹ̀rún méjìdínlógún lé ní ọgọ́rùn-ún mẹ́fà náírà o lè ra DSTV tuntun fún ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàádínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà.
DSTV Biggie Ghost promo ní gbogbo ohun tó fẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ eré ìdárayá pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dínwó àrà ọ̀tọ̀. ní báyìí o lè ra HD decoder dish àtowó ìwòran oṣù kan ìpele DSTV compact fún ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́wàádínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún náírà. jẹ́ gbádùn ìkànnì ìwòran tó ju márùndínlógóje lọ pẹ̀lú eré ìdárayá bọ́ọ̀lù àfẹsẹ̀gbá tó kà màmá bíbí Naija eré oníṣe WWE ìyẹn ìjà ike àgbáyé martial arts ìyẹn eré ìdárayá tìpátìkúùkù àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ yan ọ̀pọ̀ eré ìdárayá bí o bá ṣe fẹ́ lẹ́dínwó pẹ̀lú àǹfààní Biggie Ghost promo fún ìgbà díẹ̀ láǹfààní yóò fi wá o kò ní pẹ́ tán. DSTV àkókò rẹ ni.
If something plenty, how do you say it on the streets?
Well, kilo bade is plenty niyen.
What if I add more to it?
Okpo niyen ke.
Let's say I add more and more.
Oh, gonpe. Okpo.
So let's say it's now pour like a river anko.
My sister, tawona berekete.
If I add more anko, waiting past brekete.
Well, show you the one me. Nothing past global berekete na.
Yes, sir. Nothing past Globe Bracket. We go give you 600 naira free airtime as you deactivate the new Glow SIM. Up to 100% bonus for every data plan when you buy. Plus including 700% bonus on every recharge for new Glow customer them. Or the one where they glow before. Just go activate your new Glow SIM. Recharge or buy data. Make you begin to enjoy Bracket. Hey, carry waka go any Glow authorized dealer to buy your new Glow SIM today.
Unlimited.
Titan Farms, Titan Rice, Nigeria. Homemade rice with good price. I don't want correct rice. Titan, when you get stone, Titan Rice. Better rice. Titan, you go buy your own. Titan Rice. Oh yes, Titan Rice is a non-mushy, non-sticky, and no-stone Nigerian-made rice. Titan Rice is available for nationwide distribution. For inquiry, please call 0906 007 9714 or visit our website via www.titanfarms.org. You can also earn a fortune by investing with Titan Farms today and earn great returns on your investment. Incredible, isn't it? What are you waiting for? Visit our office today at Titan Farms House, opposite Motor Dealers Association Carlos, Akala Express, off New Garage, Ibadan. Titan Rice, a product of Titan Farms. Better rice, I think you go buy your own. Titan Rice.
Are you ready?
When we look at the horizon, we see our followers. And as we keep looking, we are inspired to keep moving. To you all, we say thank you. For our followers on Facebook, you are the best. To those on Twitter and Instagram, we love you. And to our YouTube subscribers, we throw you salute. For those who are yet to join us on the flight, we know you are waiting. So catch us live on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 32FM 949 Ibadan. And to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it is at 32FM 949 Ibadan. You are the real heroes. Once again, we say thank you.
32 FM 94.9.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Me from Ibadan.
You're welcome, sir.
God bless you. You see, I wonder why the President Buhari and his party APC are always interested in doing things that will be detrimental to Nigeria. It shouldn't be. When some people come out and be saying the president has integrity, they are deceiving themselves. Why must he be bent on presenting that woman when everybody was saying it was wrong? Why? They only interested in things that will be beneficial to them, not to us, which is unfortunate. You see, the guy who said that it is not good. Unfortunately, we have this National Assembly led by Lawan. Is the worst in this country. Why? They should stop all these things and, decide to do the right thing. That's what I've been saying. And on Sunday, the intelligence said they know where they are. They should go arrest him they want now. In fact, it should be a shame on them.
They wasted a lot of resources, almost 100 personnel of security, Nigeria security, DSS, to go and destroy his house. And unfortunately, they can't even get him. Is that not a shame? Wasting our resources. I think this government should go and rethink and do the right thing. God bless Nigeria.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fagbemi, for calling. Hello.
Hello, good morning, everybody in the house.
Morning, sir.
This is John Olariwaju from Agbo. On the issue of Igbo, the Intelligence Department of Police told us that they know the hiding place of Sunday Igbo. I said it that on this platform, that if the Intelligence Department of Police can begin to be working perfectly, the problem of insecurity in this country, we totally limited. Look at, if you know that one, what about those that attack the people in Gaga? Why did Intelligence Department of Police find it difficult to fish out these people? That's for that one. And then about Loretta, I think if you could remember vividly, I'm talking about Mr. Austin, that look, this senator that came from the Bayelsa, Seraki Dixon, former governor there, he stood up and made mention of that woman that he came from, he has represented, that somebody there has been represented there. And then Loretta disagree with him. But the point is this, according to what you said, that they were said that because of the popular opinion of the people against Loretta Onoche, instead of that, they make mention of the issue that Seraki Dixon raised. That was why they said that federal character. But all the same, what you are saying is this: President Muhammadu Buhari, according to one caller, where is the integrity? Tell me the meaning of integrity. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you. On Facebook, Prince Giwa Asekiru, JAM's age limit should be a welcome submission. Maturity is needed to withstand wherewithal in that level of education. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Dele Austin, good morning.
Morning.
This is Shegun from Oyo. The national policy on education says a child should start primary school by 6 years. 6 plus 6 primary school, how much? 12. 12 plus 6, 18. It is we, the parents, that cause the problem for our children. They may be brilliant. A child of 14, 15, also when we are in university, we don't have that. It is you and we know that time when we are in university, we not take a child less than 17. If we not take it. We know it shows when they are in university. They are not intelligent enough to do their own work. That's number one. Number two, it is political suicide for President Muhammadu Buhari to represent that woman. But my own take is this. When Obasanjo was in government, majority of INEC officials from Southwest are PDP standing members. Why are we now starting wars? It's not good to present that woman again. Have a nice time.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
This is a lady from Ibadan. Bless the wisdom. It's just another way of trying to beat concerning Loretta.
Your line is not very clear. We can't get any bit of what you are saying. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Alaji.
Alaji from Coca-Cola. Hello, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Mr.
We can hear you, Alaji.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Austin. Well, someone said when the Biden was in charge, the majority of the INEC official or commissioner are PDP. I don't want to argue with that person. But even at that, do we continue in that line if we want to progress as a country and as a people? So someone should right the wrongs. Because do wrong can never make a right. So we should not be defending what is not defendable. We want to move up. We want to move forward. So we want to advance ourselves in line with the 21st century, not going back again. So we should not bring all that issue to justify what someone is doing. That is all good at this point in time. That's right the way. On the issue of Sunday Igboho, Nnamdi Kanu, what have you, I think we have been saying it for the past 3 weeks that the kind of synergy, approach, strategy that this government used in tracking Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, point has this not been using of people of killer men, bandits, and kidnappers. All this while, what the government wants to do, they will do it. Remember, General Abacha said any political killings in any country that lasted for more than 2 days and the company is not being apprehended, it means the government of the day has the hand in it. Let's have a price of this today. Thank you.
Thank you, Alhaji. Austin, do you want to, because we are wrapping up right now, you want to respond to any of the...
Yes, a caller said it will be politically suicidal for Noche to be represented. You know, that was what the president did in the case of Ibrahim Magu, suggesting to Nigerians as if Magu is the only competent fellow.
And that was why I raised it as an example.
Yes, but the dynamics concerning the disqualification is quite different from what we have on ground. At the end of the day, the same Magu was used and was dumped in the process. In the case of Adamu, the former IGP of police, we asked the president, allow this man to go and retire. Some people somewhere, they collected money, they extended his tenure. They say, oh, he can continue to stay in the office. The president can allow him to stay in the office. But he went to Imo State for the crisis in Imo. He was even still in Imo before his appointment was terminated. He was disgraced out of office. So those the government are suggesting that, oh, they are always the best, they are always the best. Let them be very careful.
All right.
Onoche could be appointed to any other position, but INEC, our personality is too controversial for an electoral umpire like INEC. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Austin Ujumo, for being a part of the program. We'll see you again before the end of the week. I think Friday or thereabout. Yes, my name is Adele Adeyoju. Good morning. Thank you for being part of the show. The program returns tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock.
We fill the world with laughter. We are 32 FM 94.9.
Show me your 32.